in Ogun East Senatorial District. And we want to know who are the people on the other side, so that when we are talking, I think our interaction can flow freely. Direct, come and use the mic, so that we can have a brief introduction of some of the people on the other side here, so that we have an appreciation of the people we are talking to.
Good morning, my name is James Shirley.
Good morning, sir. I am Michael Aziz Ogun, the Cancer News.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Nigel. I work on the Sun newspaper.
Aziz, along with the newspapers.
Nine local governments representing the interests of 103 ward members APC in Ogun East Senatorial District. So I am practically just reading on behalf of the entire stakeholders in Ogun East. Gentlemen of the first, in the last few days, you must have heard the rumors going around about purported suspension of His Excellency, the Senator, October Engineer Ogun. This joke started a few months ago, precisely in August 2025, with a Facebook post by someone who, there's a phone here. This joke of the suspension started a few months ago, precisely in August 2025, with a Facebook post by someone who, let me emphasize, for the first time introduced himself as the Director of Publicity of Agri Party, the All Progressive Congress in Ogun State. What a creative way to announce or launch an appointment which hitherto was unknown to several members of the party in the state as at that time. For your quick recall, because I'm aware most of you as journalists and friends and colleagues here are also following events, let me reproduce the sequence of this joke called suspension. On the Facebook post, the State Executive Committee of the All Progressive Congress was said to have ratified suspension by a Ward 4 ESCO, following the report of the purported investigation committee set up to investigate an alleged anti-party activities by Senator Ogun. There were some fundamental issues in this process. One, we need to ask ourselves, is it ethical and logical to announce a suspension order on the personal Facebook page of an individual who was either not known to the party and sought to be accorded any seriousness? Here we are talking about the former governor of the state and the startling senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What happens to the chairman of the party in the state? Where is the state secretary of the party? He therefore suggests that such announcements cannot be given any seriousness, especially because there was no official communication about any offense to the person you think to be suspended. There was no allegation levied. There was no invitation to attend any investigative panel. With emphasis, none. No letter of suspension. And I say with emphasis, none was even cited by any known journalist here. Any known journalist. I've asked this question severally to most of my colleagues. Has anybody cited anything? I'm repeating this before you gentlemen of the press. Has anyone here cited any correspondence in relation to this suspension thing that we're writing about? No. Thank you. Don't certainly some of our colleagues went to town to publish this Facebook post as if it were a real event without consulting with the real leadership of the party in the state or at the national level for oral confirmation and proper attribution. I would have thought that when we see news of this nature, we want to really attribute it to somebody in authority, like the chief state chairman, like the secretary, but we are just reacting to this. The essence of this press conference is that just last week, precisely on the 5th of November 2025, the chief press secretary to the governor of the state, Link Madena, shared an unsigned press statement with the media, speaking to the same issue, purporting to reiterate the non-existing suspension order and dispensing strict orders to the leadership of the party in Abuja on who to recognize as a member. Again, a warning letter was filed as having been sent to the national chairman of the party on the 3rd of October 2025, clearly over 1 month before the said press statement. You issued the press statement, you said you have written a letter to the national chairman in October. I hope you are following me. And then you are writing a press statement in relation to it on the 5th of November, clearly over the 1 Such letter, as usual, was not displayed nor shown to the media. Yet, some of our colleagues still went ahead with this news without asking to verify or seek to see the copy of the said letter. From the latest developments, we can now confirm that it is the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor who shared the unsigned press statement. We hereby respond as follows. Is it appropriate in a well-structured political party like ours, where we have a state chairman, secretary, and other elected officials for the Chief Press Secretary to be of the state government, and an appointee, most especially the spokesperson of the governor, who himself is an interested party, or someone who has a vested interest to speak for and on behalf of the All Progressive Congress in Ogun State. Of this, we need to have a brief background on the state of APC in Ogun State. To answer to this challenge, we have no doubt, and let no one be deceived, that this is all connected to the politics of 2027, and especially the APC ticket for the East Senatorial District. We therefore need to have a little background on development in and the strength of the APC since 2019. Building up to the general election of 2019, it was common knowledge that the All Progressive Congress APC has been degraded and was on the verge of losing the election, especially because of internal disputes arising from the primaries of the party, wherein the then governor, Senator had moved almost every member of the APC to the Allied People's Movement. Former governor of the state, Ogun, who was at that time the member of the People's Democratic Party, at the instance and based on the directive of the national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whose relationship with Ogun dates back several years, rallied, amongst others, which include various traditional rulers and stakeholders, all his supporters to vote for the APC and for Prince Abiodun. As you can see on the screen there, this event happened right in this hall. It was well reported. Several journalists were witness to this, and those who were here on the day would attest to it that there were well over 2,000 people gathered in this hall, in this compound, where Ogun actually lifted the hand of the incumbent governor of the state. We are so proud of this achievement because we are able to tell the story around it. Who not only publicly endorsed the candidate of the APC, but also mobilized the supporters to rally voter support for the election of Prince Abiodun. And I must say, despite these efforts, Prince Abiodun won with just a margin of 19,000 votes. The lowest margin that was the lowest margin of victory in the history of gubernatorial elections in Ogun State as at that time. Because this same record was beaten by the same people. But as at 2019, 19,000 vote margin was the lowest ever we have gotten in the history of elections in Ogun State. 4 years later, the record was beaten. It is also instructive to say that the victory of 2019 was likely from the Ogun Senatorial District under the direction of Ogun. At that time, when Honorable Oladipo Adebutu and the faction of PDP have also signed a memorandum of understanding with Senator Ogun's APM for the 2019 governorship election. The APC lost elections and most of the votes. Please, you can just, as I'm speaking, just follow through. Look at the first column on that take you is Ogun East, the next is Ogun West, and the next. So when you see those are places where APC lost as at 2019. In Ogun East, if you see clearly, it is only in Ijebu North. The last one, sorry, that yellow is not supposed to, that's 13,009 something, it's not 1,000, so it's not supposed to be yellow. Ijebu, the only local government lost in 2019 in Ogun East Senatorial District was Ijebu North. So the APC lost elections are most of the votes in Ogun West and Ogun Central Senatorial Districts in that election. And he copied all of you, you will find these figures there, so you can take your position and fact check this. You can assume you online and everything, the results are there. What he therefore suggests is that his hand was raised in Ogun East Senatorial District in 2019. In Ogun East, you can see the effect of that. Note, apart from Ijebu North, where the PDP won, why the PDP win in Ijebu North then? The candidate of the PDP, Prince Senator Ogun, in that election was from that local government, from Ijebu North. That's the only condition why Ijebu lost Ijebu North. Our party APC won all other 8 local government councils with the support of Otumba Daniel. Now, in how did OGD join APC? Because all of these are related to tickets and not tickets. On Wednesday, 17th day of February 2021, several governors elected on the platform of the APC, including the then governors Mohammed Abubakar Jigawa, now he is the defense minister. His Excellency Atiku Bagudu Kebbi, now the Minister of Budget and National Planning. His Excellency Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, that's Aketi, now late, that's Ogo. His Excellency Mohammed Bello Matawale Zafara, who was still in the PDP as of that time. Abdullahi Muhammad Benji of Kano, Prince Akwabelo and his deputy Norman Sanako Oyedele. These governors were accompanied by Alhaji Kashim Imam, an APC bigwig from Borno State. They paid the courtesy visit to the Asodere Reform Shagamu, residents of Otumba Daniel, and the result of that was the invitation to join the All Progressive Congress. You can see that basis on the screen there. The governors also accompanied him to his advertising place. He sorted Ward 12 in Shagamu. Can we have the picture? That is where Otumba Daniel registered. He is a member of the All Progressive Congress, registered in Isote, Ward 12, Shagamu local government. Later that night. It was in the night. They followed it there. In the build up to the 2023 elections, however, Otumba Daniel commissioned an independent public opinion poll using a very credible pollster organization to test the popularity of the APC against all other political parties. The result of that poll was quite bad for the APC. Several citizens, including party members, have become disillusioned about the dismal performance of our government, which has rubbed negatively on the public perception of our party. As a responsible party leader of the party, Otumba Daniel decided to move to the streets. He embarked on ward tours to all 103 wards in 9 local government council areas, capping it up with 13 mega rallies in all of East Senatorial District. Can we have slides of some of these empowerments and all these tours? He rolled out massive empowerment programs, thousands of scholarship awards, donated 9 tractors, several vehicles among other items to reignite and stimulate the people's interest in the APC. A program which Otumba Daniel has been embarking on in the last 25 years and have impacted positively. on the lives of over 500,000 people. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, some of you have traveled with us far and wide. Since 2003, I know quite a number of our colleagues here that have also witnessed some of these events. So I'm speaking to things that most of you are really familiar with, that are undisputable. You witnessed them. Those are some of the empowerments, scholarships donated to quite a number of people. On each tour, a minimum of 15, 20 parts in each wall go around 103 words. Curiously, during these work tours, the people of Ogun Senatorial District, where Otumba Daniel concentrated his efforts on, kept telling Otumba Daniel to speak to them only. Let's follow me on this. They kept telling him that he should speak only about himself. Them to decide on the choice of their governorship candidates. Can I have videos of these complaints that we met on the streets? Please kindly listen and perhaps listen attentively to this video.
Ìjọba bóyá kí èbò kò sí ní òkùnkùn yóò yí àwọn ọmọ ṣe.
Go back so that we know you.
Àwọn tó bí wọ́n nígbà yẹn ní pé ní ìlú wa, àwùjọ tó ń ta bóyá kí èbò ìjọba bóyá kí èbò kò sí ní òkùnkùn yóò yí àwọn ọmọ ṣe. Ìjọba tó ń dúró lọ́wọ́ tó láti fẹ́ kà àbí àwọn tó ń bá ṣe ìwà àbí láti fẹ́ kà. Olúwo bá tó ń bọ̀ sí pẹ̀lú àyàkọ́ sí ẹ̀rú ìgbẹ̀rù àbúkọ́ lè pẹ̀lú gómìnà pàṣẹ ìdìbò.
Now, let me interpret what you saw there. You can hear them. If you can see that picture or what they have on their something, that is the governor's image. What were they saying? It was in serious lamentation. They said they did not endure our war tours so that they can have access to come and voice their act. That when the governor was campaigning in 2019, a lot of them suffered and sacrificed. One of them even said, "Yeah, we lost one of our. This is a very place." Again, there are 3 words in the very 3, 4, 5. We have more videos of these complaints. A lot of them were deliberately edited, even when wanted to be pushed, because it was complained and law. These boys were saying that despite all the sacrifices they made in 2019, they've not seen anything. When they go to them, they say they should go and meet one person in Ogere, they should go and meet one person in Chagam, and they were just ignored. You can imagine how much Otumba had to spend. You need to listen to it. Did we get to the voice of Oga there? No, you didn't get to the voice. Get to the voice of when he spoke. It downs the tension. This was in the bedroom. So he actually spoke at length and we didn't want to bore you. He had to bring them down, you know, the way Otumba Daniel's strategy of at least winning and calming situation. He did. So, and he then said, you know how much you have done spent to actually encourage this kind of things. Those are the things. We still have so many women, everything. This disillusionment and disinterest manifested in outcome and result of the governorship elections in March 2023, where the result was even far worse than what obtained in 2019. Now that record was broken. Our governor only managed a win with only 13,000 votes margin. He lost in 7 out of the 9 local government councils in the East Senatorial District, including all the 3 wards in February 3, 4, and 5. That's February where the governor himself came from, and he also lost his Ikene local government council. Please look at on the table on the board there. 2023. He said, no, I want it in the 3 local governments. You want to speak too fast. You know, the one thing we are always arguing is that people are bringing out things they're not bringing out. We have it. Just check. Anywhere you see the yellow. So, but our use now look at Ogun East. Please look at all the yellow in Ogun East. Look at Ogun West and look at Ogun Central. It therefore suggests that 2023 election, which senatorial districts delivered the governor, Ogun West and Ogun Central. Look at all the yellow in Ogun East. Now we will speak to this. And this election was the same election, in the same election cycle, where Otumba Daniel and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu won landslide barely 2 weeks earlier. Otumba Daniel won with 1,147 votes, the highest so far in the history of senatorial elections. The highest so far, with emphasis. In the Ogun senatorial election, and please that Babelu managed to poll 86,000 votes. Over 40,000 of these 86,000 votes was even challenged and contested by the opposition. It was part of the things that the people went to court that 40,000 of that 86,000 was also not valid. These margins of victory would rather be considered scary going forward into future elections. The result of the 2023 election is bad enough for our government to find a way to unite the party. Instead, all members perceived to be loyal to OGG are being persecuted. It must be emphasized that after the long and tortuous journey to secure the ticket of the APC in 2022, Otumba Daniel picked the 2nd of October to flag off his campaign at Tauba in Shagamu, and as a responsible party man, dutifully invited the governor as the special guest of honor to come and declare the campaign open. For sadly, the governor did not attend. Neither was he represented. Instead, it passed an instruction around to discourage party members from attending. Those who disregarded such directives were also sanctioned. Attend as the special guest of honor to declare open Otumba Daniel's campaign in 2023 for the senatorial seat. He passed instruction around to discourage party members from attending. And those who disregarded such directives were also sanctioned. Some public servants who ignored the order to attend were also served with query letters. Please see on. Now, that they attended a public function and events that took place on a Sunday. On a Sunday. It's not as if, and it is an ABC event, an All Progressive Congress event on its own. Now they are being sanctioned, or maybe they be regarded as a picture of political or administrative. You can see this. These are. Can you highlight the date for me? That should be on the 4th of November, October. The rally was held on the 2nd of October, so this letter was applied on Tuesday or go on, 17. That's 17th of October. That's it. That's 17th of October. Sanctioned for attending an APC government sanctioning public servant for attending the public ABC rally on a Sunday, not during work hours. In all the talks of the 103 wards in Ogun Senatorial district, our government never attended a single one. Even to solidarize, he never attended a single of the 103 ward talks that Ogun had. They are APC Senatorial candidate. This was not because he was not invited. At each turn, there were messages communicated to him. However, our government, with all the machinery of states, please listen to this carefully. With all the machinery of states, which include commissioners, special advisors, senior special assistants, the thousands of board appointees have conveniently blamed Otunbabe Gada, a former governor who had been out of office for 12 years for his abysmal electoral performance in 2023. We are speaking to what you have all heard. Am I correct? Gentlemen of the press, we are speaking to what you have all heard. That somebody walked against them. But we are talking of somebody with all state machinery. You have commissioners, you have special advisors, special assistants, senior special. You have thousands of people in appointments on the boards. Yet it is on public that will serve as crime lady with picture that was responsible for electoral fortunes and misfortunes. When the Senate, now let me come back to this, relate to this, what they call transparency. When the Senate was convened for the first time on the 13th of June, 2023, Otunbabe Gada chartered aircraft to convey stakeholders in Ogun Senatorial district to Abuja for the inauguration. Curiously, our government, once again, using the Secretary of the State Government, Mr. Tokunbo, started calling several leaders who were already on the manifest. Some of whom have also boarded right at the airport, including traditional rulers, to disembark from that job. And most of them days came with the tone of threats. A recent poll conducted in February 2025 shows that the only thing the party, that is where our fears are. The party clinging on to is the personality of and the emotion around President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are all on social media, we are all seeing things that people are posting. The only thing that this party is clinging to in Ogun State, as a result of the poll conducted in 2025, February this year, is just the personality. Let me just give a brief background. Since he joined politics in 1999 from 2000 to 2003, Otunbabe Gada had never gone into any election without conducting polls. Even as a governor, to do anything, rules, every project, every policy of government, he will conduct a poll. It is the poll that will guide the policy action. It is the poll that will guide whether a road should be constructed or what are the most pressing needs of the people. So it is usual tradition. When he joined the APC in 2021, he started conducting polls on all parties. He will poll Ogun State, he will poll local government, he will poll Southwest, he will conduct poll on Nigeria. The library is there. Most of you have attended poller. You have a library card. You can do research. Polls across time. So this is his tradition. The recent poll we conducted, and he's using their credible pollsters. That we don't need to know who is behind it. There's to return the petty thing. So the recent one that was conducted showed clearly that the APC in Ogun State is only clinging on to the emotion and the personality of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Outside that figure, the APC is as good as still remain. We are therefore worried that Otunbabe Gada, a former governor who governed the state for 8 years, 2003 to 2011, who raised the government's hands in endorsement during the 2019 election, has been completely alienated from the party. People for Governor Ibikoya Musu, who governed Ogun State between 2011 and 2019. What is the fate of the party? Where the two longest served governors in the history of the state are completely ostracized. It's a question, this is a poster. Now let me come home, because there's also an issue around the Remo Federal Constituency by elections. When the special campaign committee for the Remo Federal Constituency by election in July was being constituted, neither Atuba Daniel nor any of his supporters were considered in the list. Atuba Daniel protested to the leadership of the party in Ogun State. I emphasize it, but there was no attempt whatsoever to redress this. And it appears like a premeditated action. In spite of this, please, I say, because questions will be asked. They will raise some things about something. They will ask party. In spite of this embarrassment, Senatorial grandmostly supported our party's candidates who morally emphasized it. With the public broadcast of endorsement, and we have the public broadcast.
You can hear from I'm going to vote and not just vote for my party, the APC. We must not forget that the vote on Saturday goes beyond these local issues. We have our president, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and nothing was done to jeopardize the kind of solidarity that we have been working for, especially in this part of the country. So yes, I'm not supposed to the candidate of the party, and I urge all our people to present.
This was more federal constituency election. You could see the APC logo there. It was here white. It was widely broadcast. This, if we don't stop at this, Otuba Daniel also supported the candidate of the party financially and contributed to the campaign through one. You can protect this with the party because it's like an indictment to some. He donated funds for that election through the Director General of the Campaign Committee set up by the governor. Through the Director General, who is the organizing secretary of the party. Please, ladies and gentlemen, you can verify. You can investigate. You can ask them questions. The organizing secretary of the party was announced as the Director General of the Remo Federal Constituency by-election confirmed. Did Otuba Daniel contribute? He did. Financially, substantially. The second layer of contribution, there was the Ogun State National Assembly caucus. That's reps and senators from the Senatorial district. Otuba Daniel contributed substantially to that, through that caucus, to that same campaign. You can also verify. There are senators, there are some reps members. They contributed money, he did. You can also ask the candidate herself. And I dare to say, the very day she was announced as the candidate of the APC in that election, Otuba Daniel was one of the first persons who contributed financially to her, donated money for her campaign. That's directly to the candidate, Honorable Elebedi herself, where he also gave moral support, directing some of his aides and supporters to work for with her campaign structure. With due respect, you should, like I said, we should speak the truth. I think that Daniel Rododo is here. Please, this is the youth leader for OGD campaign structure. Please, who did you work for in the election? He was involved. Where's the KSO? Are KSO? That's collaboration of Honorable AYO is not here. These are people, despite all the embarrassment connected to Otuba Daniel, these people who are actually on the field, physical. You can cross-check this with the party, cross-check this with the candidate herself. If the youth leader of Otuba Daniel was in the forefront of the campaign, so those are contributions. It is also no news that party meetings at all levels have not been holding in Ogun State for a long time. The overall effect of this in our estimation is that when there are no such party meetings regularly among members, it stifles the growth of our party and limits the expansion and acquaintance of new members. There are also yet to be confirmed rumors that some members of the party executive expected to conduct party primaries to select delegates at future elections but have a compromise through or being subjected to ritual votes in various shrines across the states. Just like every other person saw it. Now we now call the party leadership at the national level. So one thing that I said, we didn't result, we have shown results. Please, we are now calling the party leadership to investigate, emphasis, how and why the president, Ashwani Bola Ahmed Tinubu, would have lost in the polling units where the governor voted and the political wall of the government during the 2023 presidential elections. I repeat, how, why did Ashwani Bola Ahmed Tinubu lost in the polling units where the governor voted? The APC lost during the presidential election in the polling unit where the governor voted, in the ward, the very ward of the governor. How? I think we are calling the national leadership to investigate this. The administration of our party will be better managed when all stakeholders have mobilized the unity to complement one another for a total and overall victory. Now, curiously, in the midnight of Saturday, Sunday, the 10th of September 2023, that Daphne Plaza, a 5-story property of the Yeolu Federal, wife of Senator Daniel, was willfully destroyed by men believed to be agents of the government 2 weeks with official permission. Can we have that? See the level. This should be internal to see the level and appreciate the internal level of destruction of the property. Internal. This is wrong now. Internal. Inside of the Daphne Plaza. Why do you go that way? That's outside. Ladies and gentlemen, tell myself one time. I think someone should have some kind of empathy. Some people should have some emotion. You need to see the internal work, the internal level of destructions. I'll send the videos the pictures and videos to some of us, so that you can see. They went in with jack hammer and started rigging the floors, all the decks, and started rigging a hole in it. That's enforcement of anything. Is that enforcement? And you can then imagine that even if government officials needed to work to leave the midnight on a Saturday stroke Sunday, when is someone working on Saturday stroke Sunday in the midnight, odd hours. So, assistance was not enough. A few weeks ago, demolition notices were posted on several other properties of Ogun Garden. In all of this, ODG had maintained historic silence to keep the peace in Ogun State. Can we have pictures of the demolition notices, please? Historic silence to keep the peace in Ogun State and in our part, choosing instead to take the lawful recourse to the law courts to seek redress. We therefore wonder if these actions are desirable for stakeholders within the same political party. This is very important to have these images because another video, another picture must come after this. very important. There are some things that you have had, like we have been accusing them, they are not showing any evidence. We want to show evidence. We want to show you approval plans, building approval plans. In relation to them, we said, come, let us already reason that so that there are no even papers. We should have yours, but the motive was not too clear and clean, so we cannot trust that paper. Can you see? So for the records, let me emphasize that all building plans with all statutory approvals are clearly available and have been submitted to the court. And I have some of the building. This is approved as a building plan, dated 2003. Those are stamps on it. Can you see? Can you see page? You are seeing all the approvals. Can I have more? So these are not the stamp for approval. Can we have another one? If you look clearly, you will see page, plan number, everything are clearly written on it. Now 2007, 2005, you can see them. Now I will proceed. Coming back to the purported suspension of Otumba Daniel, we believe the treatment meted out to former governor and serving senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where a protest suspension order was started online by unofficial sources. A sweeping generalization as anti-party activity without clear investigation negates the rule of law, breaks all democratic tenets and principles. It is also a breach to well-meaning, to establish right to fair hearing, and an affront to the principles of constitutional democracy anywhere in the world. In their claims, Otumba Daniel was allegedly investigated and suspended by the Expos of 1-4 in Shagamu, when he is not even registered as a member. I've showed you videos of his registration. For the record, Otumba Daniel is a registered member of the APC in Isote Ward 12 in Shagamu local government and not Ward 4. So, how can he be suspended in the ward where he is not even registered as a member? Our recommendations. That is Isote Ward 12. You can investigate. You can check INEC portals and ask where Isote is. How does it can become a victim in Ward 4? Our recommendations are this. The dynamics of politics and power for winning elections in Ogun State is usually of a coalition party. This strategy has always delivered victory to any political party in Ogun State since the return of democracy in 1999. It is therefore important to keep all the stakeholders within the party, like taking a second look at the distribution structures in the state party executives as we approach a new Congress, and by extension, the elected positions in the party and in future elections in the state, using areas and spheres of influence as parameters. At the moment, the camp of the governor is holding wholesale to all the state party executive positions from ward level to the state. They think both the party and structural positions and elected offices will be better distributed among all the stakeholders to protect all interests across ethnic and political divides, and all stakeholders are given a sense of belonging. We are also of the opinion as a quick recap. Our party, the APC, won 2019. I'm not doing the recap, it's summary of everything we've done. Won the 2019 election with a vote margin of 19,517, even with the Rainbow Coalition. We also won in only 11 of the 20 local government areas, with 9 of these coming from the just Ogun Senatorial district. Please let me clear this. I've shown this picture. In 2019, we have 20 local governments in Ogun State. That election returned APC in only 11 local governments. 11. 9 of those 11 local governments are from Ogun East, not across Central and West. It is therefore safe to assume that for sheer law, our fates may have been different as the other 2 senatorial districts went the way of the opposition in a 3-horse race. These results even became worse in the 2023 elections, where the margin came down to 13,000 the national and state leadership of our party should note that our party lost the governorship elections and 9 out of the 11 state assembly seats in the East Senatorial districts. We have 11 state assembly in Ogun East. The APC lost 9 in the 2023 elections. And this is the Senatorial district where the governor and Otumba Gathering both came from. Our party lost the governorship seats election in the ward and the local government of the governor. I'm trying to emphasize, this is a recap, that APC lost in Ogun East Senatorial districts where in the ward where the governor voted, and they lost in the local government of the governor. Based on the submissions above, it is a considered opinion that the area will fix this tier in the party what comes event. The endorsement of because of this, and so that everybody is appending their signatures, point signature to the content as delivered here. So can I?
Let me start. My name is Ogun. I fully endorse this statement as presented and written by the spokesperson.
My name is Right Honorable Rajiv Nazar, former Deputy Speaker of the State Assembly. I 100% endorse the press statement as read. Thank you.
My name is Prince Wale Ashianichi, former Chairman Governor, former Head of Protocol of the State. I totally align, support 100% the statement put before us today.
I am regretting local promote from the local government. I fully endorse this document and I'm in support of it 100%. Thank you very much.
I am Dr. Ogun from Ogun local government, Ward 1. I endorse this document 100%.
Gentlemen of the person, my name is Dr. Baba Funde. I'm the Chief Staff of His Excellency President of Nigeria. I endorse this document as presented. My local government is the government. Thank you.
Gentlemen, my name is Enyo Wale. I'm from the peaceful town, very peaceful town of Ogun. I'm also the former chairman of the Ogun East local government. I fully endorse the document as well. But I can assure you, there's going to be part 2, part 3. Wow.
Represent and I for God
My name is Barrister former state minister PDP Ogun State. I fully endorse this press statement 100%.
My name is Ogun. The media to former governor of the state, Dr. This is 100% of my endorsements.
My name is Mr. Matisa. Support of I am 100% assigned endorse the press statement. Thank you.
Ola Awoye is my name. I 100% endorse document.
My name is Dele.
Shagam local government. I'm from Shagam local government. 5.
My name is Dele Ashifari from Remano. We are there. Former special advisor under the Victoria House government. 100% signed
and endorse.
I endorse this press statement as read. I'm Dr. Honorable Tayo Yemi, Ijebu Northeast Local Government.
Josephine Mark Okola Mrs. from Shagamu Local Government. Ward 3. I endorse and signed the document.
Gentlemen of the press, my name is Are Kolade Shegun Okewu, former chairman PDP Shagamu Local Government, former member PDP State Executive Committee, and presently I coordinate the affairs of Gateway Movement in Shagamu Constituency 2. I am fully in support of the press statement as read, and I endorse it 100%. I belong to Ward 13 of Shagamu Local Government. Thank you.
Good afternoon, members of the press. My name is Dr. I'm the leader of the APC from the Ijebu East Local Government. I fully endorse the press statement.
My name is Colonel Opeoluwa Awokoye, retired from Ward 8, Ijebu Local Government. I fully endorse the press statement and I'm 100% in support of it. Thank you.
My name is Honorable Tayo from the East Local Government. I'm 100% in support of the
My name is Adeni Tunde from the Ogun Local Government. I endorse the press statement.
I fully endorse the press statement. My name is Ayode Chichona, out of Ward 2.
I am Prince Tayo from Ward 8, APC Ward 8, Agoyewo, Ijebu Local Government. I fully endorse this statement. Gentlemen of the press, my name is Engineer Aregbe Abi, one of the Balogun, Ijebu Local Government. I'm from Ward 5, the largest ward in Ijebu. I endorse document 100%. Thank you.
I'm Comrade Chide Omadeko, former Norgate chairman, 2000, former NSC chairman in Ijebu North Local Government. I'm fully 100% support this press conference.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wole Olubega. I'm from Ward 11 in Ogun Local Government. I'm former commissioner for the Civil Service Commission of Ogun State. I wholeheartedly support this document. Thank you.
Today I invite you. I am a leader of APC in Ijebu Northeast Local Government. I endorse the statement in the press conference. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Honorable Yemi Adesanya, former secretary of the local government in Shagamu. Then Councillor of the local government. I'm presently full member of the APC. The document as presented at this press conference is fully supported by me and is endorsed fully. Thank you.
Gentlemen of the press, my name is Honorable Tayo Yemi from Remo, the former vice chairman, Remo Local Government, presently the coordinator for GFA. I fully endorse the press statement as well.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Professor Sedikat from Ikana Local Government, Ogun 7. I fully endorse this document 100%. Thanks.
Good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. My name is Prince Aki Onolade from the Jebulon local government. I fully endorse this press statement. Thank you.
My name is Akotijani Alabi Odododo. I'm from Polling Unit 214, 114, Shagamu local government. And I've been nationally Senatorial leader for Gateway Movement, Shagamu, from Shagamu local government. And I fully endorse the press statement and sign accordingly. Thank you very much.
My name is Alaja Ifat Abiyaku from Ogijo, Shagamu local government. I'm fully support.
I fully supported the press statements as read, and all the consequences that follows it.
A lot of people in that local government gave this, and so once we introduce ourselves, there are a lot of former political functionaries. Don't forget His Excellency in this journey since 2000, and he fought across all facets of life in this Senatorial. So what we are seeing is just representative of our leaders. And here we also have retained our lawyer, because like somebody said, the consequences. We know all these consequences, and we are very thorough in what we are doing. We're trying to do what the best Democratic Party democracy. We know what it is to practice party democracy, and that is what we are executing here. And we have Chief Yemi Oke Sam, who has been retained by us to represent us if there is any issue at all that will come after this press statement.
Thank you, sir. Gentlemen of the press, my name again is Prince Wale Ashe. I like the fact that we have a legal title here, Professor of Law, Professor Yemi Oke. We also had someone introduce himself as the legal secretary of a party. So in balancing your story as a child of press myself, I want to ask, is anyone here under duress?
Oaths. Or oaths.
Is anyone here under duress or oaths? Is anyone here under financial or opportunity inducement? No. Hold on. Is anyone here for fear of their political or their life? No. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call on our legal title.
You have not been served. I want to ask a question. The party has said they are suspended. I want you to come out and say probably if you agree with that or you have any other thing you want to say to that. Secondly, is going to be on please that question again. Just start again. Okay. Back and forth about the backstabbing. About backstabbing, about the election, who do this and that. But I want to say something probably to the class. What really transpired during the election about the governor's mother and the meeting that followed. Then to get the substance in it. You are trying to ascertain the veracity of a suspension. And my response to that is you are a thoroughbred journalist. When certain pronouncements are alleged or purport to have been made, the due diligence is to find out
who did what. The organigram of the party, the power to suspend is in the hand of the state organ. The ward can recommend, they don't have the power of pronouncement. In this case, there is no pronouncement for the state organ to even approve of, and there is no document to show that any suspension had taken place. Rather, information flying around. What you are asking us to provide is what you will use the quest for due diligence to further ascertain. Meet with the state party and request for them that document that speaks to this alleged or purported suspension. As far as we are concerned, no suspension took place. What is going on is more troubleshooting, just that they can hang on to something. And as by the issue of backstabbing that you talk about, you know, when you are not a guru in the game, it doesn't matter the brute force that you bring into the playing of the game. It will be evident that you are not so grounded. We have a governor who is trying his best at governance, even though some people are still not pleased with his performance so far. But his political prowess is below par. What the governor wants is who can be his placeholder for the Senate that he wants in 2027. And he says in 2023 that such in the hand of OGB would be a difficult track. So he never wanted OGB, and he didn't pretend that he didn't want it. And at the end of the day, OGB got the ticket and has never hidden his content, hatred for the fact that that happened. And so, in trying to vent his anger, he has been approaching the whole process with what I would call the strategy of killing a mosquito with a sledgehammer. So what he has done so far are efforts to discredit the man, OGB. But each step he takes, he fails. We know he will try more. We just want the whole world to know what is going on. But we want to promise him that he will not try more, but he will fail more. Thank you.
Please put this information precisely. My name is Professor Yemi Oke, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and counsel to the process. We have been retained to guide the process legally. In line with your question, and I want this put because it's formal. Precisely on the 8th of November 2025, the Office of LDS Partners, signed by my counsel, issued a letter to Chairman of People's Congress, Ogun State Chapter. The letter was copied to National Chairman APC, National Secretary, and National Vice Chair Southwest. Briefly, the letter is making specific demands, and I will save you the stress, and I will read the legal demand we issue. In view of the foregoing, it is in view of the foregoing that we write as counsel and on behalf of our clients to request for the following documents to guide us in taking appropriate legal and constitutional steps to protect and defend their interests on the subject matter. So the title of the letter is this, that might be of interest to you. Request for the letter
and other official documents in respect of the alleged suspension of His Excellency Senator Ogun. As I said, the letter is dated November 8th. So the demand made in that letter, specifically which letter is in served and is a former public document for journalism, we demand the following. One, the official copy or copies of the petition purportedly written by members of Ward 4 or 12, Shagamu chapter of the APC against Senator Daniel, if any. 2, requested for records of proceedings of the action that was taken at Wards 4 or 12 levels on the petition purportedly written against Senator Daniel, if any. Records of proceedings of action taken by the Shagamu local government chapter of the APC on the purported petition written against Senator Daniel, if any. 4, records of the action taken by the State Working Committee of the Ogun State chapter of the APC on the petition purportedly written against Senator Daniel, if any. 5, acknowledged copy, if any, of any such petition, findings, reports, letters of suspension served on or acknowledged by His Excellency Otunba Senator Daniel. This since demand last, and any other document on the purported petition written against Senator Daniel, if any. We request that I publish our letter be given the desired urgent attention within 7 days of the service and receipt of this letter, being a matter of urgent importance. Kindly take notice that unless our demands are attended to and the document listed in subparagraph 1 to 6 above are issued and received by us not later than 7 days from the service and receipt of this letter as indicated above, we shall be left no alternatives than to take all necessary steps and actions within the confines of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, the Electoral Act as amended, all relevant laws, Constitution of the APC, among others, to seek appropriate redress on the subject matter in the court of law for our clients. Yours sincerely, MDS Partner, signed Professor NSN. Thank you. That letter is the start of it. The 7-day request of several issued by our law firm staff. We love people who want to follow the law to the letters. Thank you.
I want to really thank Professor Yemi for giving us a very summary, let's say summary of why we are seated there and the way forward. Now, in the first, to start with, sir, I want to find out if your 7-day ultimatum has lapsed or still in existence. November 8th is the date. That's the first duration. Again, my question I primarily want to find out what steps, because there's another video that says, don't say people in Baba, they say, use Baba is a problem and you know, new conditions are very funny. You are highly funny, just like Baba already said the last time, this might be at once in one. That soap opera is still in the making. Now, ordinarily sitting out here, I have expected that probably the chairman of
APC Ward 12 and APC Ward 4 will be seated as other members of the ESCO. But in their absence, I want to find out if appropriate steps have been taken to ensure that the national headquarters of APC really come into action in this direction. That's the other one. That was why I was trying to thank Professor Yemi for giving us an insight into that. And aside that, I want to quickly remind you again, sir, that kind of a scenario like this played out during the first term of Governor Aguado, when he was trying to come on board, and the then governor, incumbent governor, Senatorial insisted that it must be another person. At the end of the day, when the National Congress Committee came, they attended, and I think that was what gave the ticket to Governor Aguado. But peradventure, you tried everything possible, and the senatorial ticket, which is the kind of the subject of this here, eventually goes to another person, aside from the incumbent senator. Will Senator Benga be defecting from the party? Please, we want to know this. Thank you.
You know that they always say that when we get to the bridge, we cross it. We are aware of all the details we are aware of all the details in the constitution of the party, and that is why you see that we have started this way. To have a little bit of information today, when the suspension came, don't forget that it came around August, and by August 22nd, the ESCO that we are asking for, ESCO of Ward 4, and those leaders in Ward 4, they have actually met and they have actually written the letter disclaiming all the things that was purported to have been done by them. That letter has been forwarded to the state chairman, which unfortunately, up till now, they have made about 4 attempts to deliver those letters, but they never received them. But lastly, the letters were delivered by UPS, Uya. So we have records of all of that, and the copies of those letters have been served to the national party. So we are following the process laid down in the party for any dispute in terms of our own annoyance. Because, like we said, don't forget that we said we represent quite a lot of people, and in this kind of party issues, for the first time, our party members are now saying that no, we need to rise up and defend the person that we believe in, and that person, as far as we are concerned, he has not done anything wrong, based on the fact that we have put forward to you today. And therefore, we are coming out today for the first time to tell the whole world that we cannot take this anymore. And that's why we are sending the first signal. This is a signal. The party belongs to everybody. The party does not belong to the government. He is a state leader. And don't forget, there is an understanding in the policy of every party. When you have a president and a governor who wants to do a second term, that is going to have a second term in office, it is mandatory for the party to give that governor or the president the first choice of refusal. And that, I think, was done sometime in 2019. So basically, what we have now is that we have a state leader who wants to take an office immediately after election. He has right to do that. But fundamentally, there is a principle of fairness that you cannot run that kind of election the way you are as a governor that is outgoing. So therefore, what it means is that there must be fairness and principle of justice when you are listening this kind of party democracy. So we are sending a first signal that we don't like what is happening, and we believe that every facet of the level of the party will come out to say their own. They can set up an investigative panel of inquiry into the matter. They can do all that. But what we have done here is to send the first right in the constitution of the party. We know all the steps that we have to take. So I won't go to the point where you are leading us that what will you do after. No, we believe that a lot of things will be done. And don't forget, this is the first time in the state that you have a senator that also believes in the objectives set by the president. And so it is not out of place to also mention the fact that the president also knows what is happening. But as a politician, he will not come out to say exactly where he wants to do. But the fundamental is that he has actually spoken to His Excellency and he has said, Gbega ma ṣiṣẹ́ lọ. So whatever it is, you can quote on that one that the President of the Federal Republic has also heard what we are doing here, but Gbega ma ṣiṣẹ́ lọ.
And let nobody, I repeat, let nobody have that idea. We are going to remain in APC. We are not going anywhere. What we are trying to do is to set the record straight. Democracy is not about individual wish, it's the collective wish of everybody. And as long as we are members of APC, we just want the party to be seen as party of people who are disciplined, people who believe in democratic principle, people who believe in good leadership. We are not here to preach shenanigans. We are not going to be party to any action that is undemocratic. We will follow the process. We are going to remain in APC to the last day, and nothing will push us out of APC. Thank you very much.
Legally speaking, I can speak for the son here. Those days do not begin to count until the letter is received. They don't begin to count until the letter is received. Then we can begin now to count from the time they receive the letter. The second one is the national office intervening. Of course, when they receive this, they will know how to intervene. There has been informal report, but you don't base decisions on such mouth-to-mouth approach. When they receive this, we know they will do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Destination disease. Destination disease. That's what I've heard from most of them say. And I am worried that these people who are the timid follower of the senator, not just as a senator, those that have known him as a governor. A particular old man, almost 90, at the water side, said, I'm too old to come out. But because of what I know this man to be and what he has been to listen to as a governor, I had to get myself out of my mountain. So my question is this, sir. We are talking about democracy, and the people come first. And we have heard one or two things from the people. I just want to know the efforts of the Gbega Daniel team to make the people to instill confidence, assurance, and the fact that they should remain calm. I know what I'm saying. The 5 local government areas, the people I've spoken to, they are enraged with the developments in the state. Some of them have said that this destination disease has distracted the governor from even touching base with it. So I want to know what you are doing at the Gbega Daniel group to let your people remain calm. Because whether we like it or not, the voice of the people will take their precedence over every other thing. Thank you.
I think General will take this opportunity.
Jamil.
I still remain here. I'll come out.
We do analysis in relation to what we see on the ground. And when we go out, we plan to kind of be ahead of the situation. We've known what is happening. We've been able to do some underground to know the feelings of our people out there. And that is why the Excellency decided that we won't wait for anybody to have messed up the situation. We have to quickly go out. And that is why you see us going out for this bad OGD. It is just to kind of alleviate the feelings of people outside there about the kind of road diving that's going out there. So we quickly have to arrest the situation. We won't wait. What we are doing by midterm engage assessment is to really give the confidence back to people. We are here. You know us. Our antecedent to speak, and like you said, the old man, what the old man was saying, if somebody has 90-something before himself out, it is the conviction he has, the demand, and that is what we are doing all around the local government, to tell them the president and the senator are people you should have confidence in, and you should please, whatever might be happening, it's not your business. Our own is to tell you that whatever you want or whatever you think, we are ready to lead you on. Like you said, destination disease. You can see the crowd that is coming out. If they don't have confidence in you, they won't come out. But this man will spend the money, will spend the time, will do the planning, is to get the people who are having that feelings of there is problem, to tell them there is no problem. As far as BAT and ODD is concerned, that's the goal, and we have to achieve it. And you have seen the turnout of people, you have seen how they have accepted us, you have seen the mama crowd. Look, where you are good, you are good. Thank you.
Our anger in a way that it will be let back. But let's look at the way that things have happened. We told you here, we were here when they brought the demolition notices. We cried out. And don't also forget that within 3 or 2 days that we were here, they quickly withdrew the notices. And we didn't stop there. Because it's a governance issue, we took that matter to court. It's a governance issue, and we took it to court. And we are getting good responses from all the things that we are getting in court. Now, having left that, they went to do suspension. Because suspension was not on the card. And they went to do suspension because of what? And that is what we are seeing, that we are now on our own. It's not the Baghdadi that is taking. We are the ones that are taking. We are not saying, go and ask questions. We have already come out that we don't like what is happening. We have right as a party man to ask questions. That the way you are running the party is not right. So we have now asked the relevant thing, and in doing that thing, we have now told our rights. And in writing so, before he wrote, we almost told you that some of us also sent at the ward level and the ward 4 and ward 12 since August 22nd. They didn't receive that document, yet we copied the national. So we are bringing it quietly in, so that at least we know that when the national now is formed, and I told you, I also said that to this the national can do, they can call them to order immediately. They can also set up an investigation panel to do it. Don't rush. We just started today, we just came out and we are telling the whole world. And that's why we call it world conference. That this is what is happening to us. If I want to say it in Yoruba, what is happening here? That is what all our leaders are saying from each of the 103 words. Say this thing cannot run this way. It is not run that way. Because this is party democracy. And we leave it at that. Let's see what happens after then. Because we also call you. We are Democrats. We also call you to say, okay, we have done this, so look at what they have done again. Because it has to be clear that we have to legally justify whatever action that we do. That is the essence of the lawyer. It doesn't mean that when you have a lawyer, you are going to court. My brother, when you want to divorce, you call your lawyer and say, and then give me roadmap on how I want to do it. No be so. No be so. But thank you.
To the glory of God today, I coordinate the correspondences of His Excellency, the Distinguished Senator Ogun, for all the letters, or let me just take correspondences coming in and going out. If there is any letter addressed to His Excellency today, with humility, I will see the letter. Even if I'm not seeing the original, I will see the scanned copy. And most likely, I will be the first to even see it. One of you asked that why didn't we invite the party, APC party chairman at Ward 4 and Ward 12 level? Somebody asked, and I need to share this right. Most of all, they are Yoruba people. If someone calls you a thief, I'm sure you will find all the possible means to prove that you are not a thief. If there is a letter in this stage, if someone is writing a letter to an individual or a corporate organization, custody demand or protocol demand that you should, most especially in a formal setting like this, attach a copy to that letter, which must be acknowledged, and that will be your proof that yes, this letter was delivered and it was duly acknowledged. I, Babatunde Onodeko, coordinating the correspondences of His Excellency. I am waiting and have been waiting to see the acknowledged copy, either from the purported Ward 4 or Ward 12, the purported suspension letter, or the one inviting His Excellency to an investigation. I think, and I'm putting it to you, the journalists, I'm challenging you. Kindly help us demand from either Ward 4, unfortunately, His Excellency belongs to Ward 12. So either Ward 4 that they are claiming or Ward 12, please, I'm challenging you, the journalists. Ask them, or even if you take it to the state level, ask them, was a letter addressed to Ogun informing him of the suspension or inviting him to the investigation panel? If they say yes, fine, I don't have any problem. The next question I would expect you to ask is, where is the acknowledged copies of that letter? I hope this is very clear to us. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone, ladies and gentlemen of the press. I just have one thing to add to all what our leaders have been saying. I am Ronke Kolade Kewu, popularly known as Rotes. I am from Ogun local government, Ward 1, and APC to the core. all of us, we have spoken one voice at Ogun East that we are going to work for Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu 2027 re-election. Yes. Am I speaking your? Yes. And that is why we are here. We don't want anybody to frustrate us. We don't want to be frustrated. All the women and men in Ogun East are ready to work for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president, come 2027. And also, we are going to re-elect Otunba Daniel as the senator. That is what we are doing. We are working hard to do this. We are spending our money, spending our time, spending our resources to make sure this is realized. So nobody is going to witchcraft us. We are not going out of APC. We are APC. We are going to stay